Good morning, fourth graders. How you doing? I wanted to give you a quick little mini lesson today because I thought maybe the directions might be a little more confusing, but I hope you had fun yesterday doing some research and finding out what you could from nonfiction sources about your time period of the assigned book you're reading. So today, what I want you to know, we know we can learn a lot from pictures, and we know we can do Google searches, and we can learn about information from nonfiction sources about a timepiece or an era. But you also learn a lot of information, nonfiction information from historical fiction books and the era. Era means the time period that your historical fiction book is taking place in. So you can learn history through that nonfiction book or that historical fiction book. Remember the different lenses we had to put on when we were reading nonfiction. Sometimes it reads like a story, sometimes it reads like nonfiction. And we had to differentiate that. In historical fiction, it's the same. You read the story that is not true, but you would also learn about the history and what has been happening, and those are true. So you put those different lenses on to do that. So today, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you read your assigned book today. You're going to read at least 10 pages in that. And in Seesaw, I'm going to have you make a video retelling me what you read today. Okay. And then you are going to also, in that video, tell me what you've learned about history in your book. What have you learned about the era that your book is in? What have you learned about the time, the event? So if it's World War II, what have you learned about what happened? What events did you learn about? What did you learn about the time period and what was around and what wasn't? If you are read Sarah Plain and Tall, or you're reading Go Free or Die, the Sarah Plain and Tall was during the pioneer time. What did you learn about the pioneer time? What did people have to do? How did they survive? What did you learn from your historical fiction book? Not what you learned yesterday in the Google searches, but what have you learned from your book? So you might have to go back through your book. You might have to go back. You can go back through your notes, your discussions that you guys have talked about. And what did you learn about history through your book? You might want to write some things down first and take some notes before you make your final video. Don't submit little pieces of videos. Make sure it's a really good video and then send it. So make sure you're talking slow and make sure it's clear so I can understand. And don't forget to go back into Classroom and click the turn in button. All right. I hope you have fun with this one today. So that's all for today, except for 30 minutes of exact path. That is it. So enjoy.